The Whisper of the Sea. Once, in the depths of the Sapphire Trench, there lived a mermaid named Seraphina. She was unlike any other, with hair that shimmered like moonlight and eyes as deep and mysterious as the ocean. Seraphina possessed a rare gift, the ability to communicate with the sea itself. The waves would hum to her, the coral would whisper secrets, and the currents would guide her way. Despite the wonders of her underwater kingdom, Seraphina felt a yearning she couldn't quite understand. At night, she would drift to the surface, gazing at the stars and listening to the faint sounds of the distant shore. Her grandmother had once warned her, "The world above is beautiful but dangerous. It is a place where mermaids do not belong." But Seraphina's curiosity only grew stronger. One moonlit night, she heard the faint strains of music drifting across the water. Following the sound, she swam closer to the shore and saw a young man sitting by a fire, strumming a lute. His music was unlike anything she had ever heard, weaving emotions that made her heart ache and soar all at once. Drawn by the melody, Seraphina crept closer, her tail sparkling in the moonlight. The man, whose name was Elias, noticed her reflection in the water. Startled, he turned, his eyes widening at the sight of the mermaid. "Are you real, or am I dreaming?" he asked softly. Seraphina hesitated before replying, her voice as gentle as the waves. "I am real. And your music? It's beautiful." Elias smiled, and over the following nights they met in secret. Seraphina would sing songs of the sea, and Elias would play tunes of the land. They shared stories of their worlds. Elias spoke of sprawling forests and bustling towns, while Seraphina described glowing jellyfish forests and ancient shipwrecks teeming with life. Their bond grew deeper with each meeting, but both knew their time together was borrowed. Seraphina could never fully belong to the land, and Elias was bound by his duties as a sailor. One fateful evening, a fierce storm rolled in, and Elias's ship was caught in the tempest. Seraphina, sensing his danger, dove into the churning sea to save him. She found him clinging to a piece of wreckage, his strength failing. With all her might, she guided him to safety on a nearby island. As dawn broke, Elias awoke to find Seraphina by his side, her scales glistening in the soft light. "You saved me," he whispered. "I couldn't let the sea take you," she replied, tears glimmering in her eyes. "But now I must leave. The ocean calls me back." Elias reached for her hand. "Will I ever see you again?" Seraphina smiled sadly. "The sea always whispers to those who listen. Perhaps one day, you'll hear my song in the waves." With a heavy heart, Seraphina dove back into the ocean, disappearing beneath the surface. Elias returned to his village, forever changed by the mermaid who had saved his life. Though they were apart, their connection endured. Elias would often sit by the shore, playing his lute, and sometimes, just faintly, he swore he could hear Seraphina's voice carried on the breeze. And so, their story became a legend, a tale of love that bridged two worlds, reminding all who heard it that even the deepest divides can be crossed by the whisper of the sea.